Hello, my sweet crafty friends. Let's make a cute vintage rustic pumpkin out of this empty Clorox container. The first thing I did was take some hot glue and glue that lid on so that our project doesn't fall apart on us. Next, I took some drop cloth that came from Home Depot. There's the package there. Medium weight, 8 ounce, very important. Make sure that there's no plastic on the back. And I coffee stained the fabric and then baked it in the oven to give it that nice, rich, grungy, dark goodness. I just took a nice big large piece, draped it over our Clorox container, and I want to make sure that it's big enough because I want all those wrinkles like that to be in there. And I just have a piece of little strip of green fabric that I'm tying around it, that's going to be the top part of our pumpkin. Just work it to be the way you want it, making sure that that top is nice and snug. Then we're going to take a piece of twine and tie it around the bottom to shape our little pumpkin. Now I did leave it a little bit loose so that it kind of has like the shape of a pumpkin. We'll trim the excess off the bottom. And we'll use a little gator sanding tool to sand the edges to give it that rough, worn look so that doesn't have that, crisp scissor cut look at the bottom. Just go all the way around with your little gator tool. Sandpaper sanding block would work just as well, friends. Now we're going to use some home decor folk art paint in the color of Pueblo. I just love that color. It's a nice, rich orange color, and you can see as it dries, it just changes a little bit. Now I have a little wooden round plaque that came from Hobby Lobby, and we're going to stain it with this DIY liquid patina in the color of Dark and Decrepit. Oh. Excuse me as I yawn there, friends. All right, now we're just going to stain it with our paintbrush. Just paint it all over. We'll hit it with a drying tool, heat tool, blow dryer, whatever you choose to use will work just as well. And then we're going to go ahead and glue this to the top. Now I'm using some wood glue because I want this to be on here permanently. I don't want it to come off. So I have wood glue and hot glue, and you want to make sure that you don't let your two glues touch each other. Otherwise, you just end up with a sticky, gooey, slimy, slippery mess. Boy, can I get any more adjectives in there? All right. Then we're just going to add a little bit of Spanish moss to the top. And you can see that cute little stick I have down there. That's going to be the stem. And I have these little pieces of drop cloth that I've torn into little tiny squares, and I've stamped the word pumpkin. We'll get those attached with some hot glue. My little K did not turn out so great, so we're remaking that K. Okay, there we go. Look at how cute that is. Now we have a little wooden crow that is cut out. That is in the Shopify account, friends. If you're interested in the crow, just type crow at the bottom and we'll give you a link. Isn't he cute? Just going to go ahead and paint it black. Any black will do. You do not have to use any particular black. I painted both sides, dried in between, and now we're just doing a little sanding around the edges to make him stand out a little bit. Make him look a little bit worn and vintage-like. I did drill a hole right there in his belly, in the edging. I'm going to put a little hot glue in there. I have a little piece of wire, sturdy barbed wire that I have just kind of curled up, and I have a hole in the top of that little wooden plaque, and I put some glue in there, but I'm also adding a staple to make sure that it stays. Look how cute that looks. We'll just put a little more moss on there just to kind of cover it all up. We'll add our little stick for our stem. And we're going to make a tag. I have this really cute vintage tissue paper that someone sent me, and I'm going to put it, Mod Podge it right onto a little little cardboard tag. We'll cut it out, and we're going to use that as the backdrop on our tag. Look at how cute that is. We'll just kind of trim it up. We'll stamp it and finish this little guy off. You guys, I just love how this turned out. I'm taking a little face razor there to the edging just to kind of scuff it up. And look at how cute that turned out. Pumpkins, 25 cents. From a Clorox container to a pumpkin. Thanks for watching, friends.